can roll right off this at the beginning. Like, how'd you first get into music?
I mean, I've been asked this before, but not really, Not definitely not on, I don't know, whatever. But I would probably say like sneaking into my dad's room and like putting on records, and then like there used to be some like back then it was like scary sounding. I remember like I put on a it might have been like a Porno for Pyros album, and it started off with uh like sirens and helicopters and some shit, and I didn't know it was the music. I thought someone was like coming in on me. I was like, oh my God, I must have been maybe like, I don't know, 7 years old or something. So I thought like cops were after me for whatever reason, whatever the hell was going on. But anyways, I was like, whoa, music or audio can do that. And then my dad had like Nirvana, some Clash, and those were like the things that definitely drew me in. He had Dookie, Green Day's Dookie, and that definitely like sparked an interest in it all. But I would say I really got into it when I was living in Venezuela, and like these kids had like some no effects stuff, and they had the longest line. And for some reason that just like I was like, oh, this is rough, raw. It's kind of like Green Day, but cooler to me. And that's what really set it off. And the kid had a guitar too. It's like, whoa, shit. So I tried like, you just strum on it, not knowing what you're doing. He didn't know what he was doing, but that definitely what sparked it all. So I would say longest line.
That's a great EP. I mean, it's not really that long. I mean, the longest line was long, but
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
was a little short. What was your first musical project? Was it the Stupid Henchman?
I mean, pretty much. It wasn't called the Stupid Henchman, but it was just Stella and I way back then, the same drummer as the early Stupid Henchman stuff. And it was when I moved to the States, and it was like just someone that I just, we had we played baseball together, and we just had the same interests, and we just loved punk. And there was very few of that in like where we grew up, upstate New York and stuff. But I think like the Bouncing Souls brought us together. Like I think there was something like I was listening to Bouncing Souls or said something about the Bouncing Souls, and we're like we both didn't have instruments at the time. And we're like, you want to make a band? I remember like spending like my summer's jobs money on a guitar, a shitty like God, I don't even know that it must have been like First Act or whatever that shitty brand was.
That Walmart brand.
Yeah. So I think I had one of those, and Stella got a snare drum and a hi-hat, and that's all she had. And that's basically what we started. And we started as we named it Rancor. And it was basically just like covering No Effects, Minor Threat, Rancid. I feel like we really got into like New York hardcore. So like there was probably like some 25 to Life or some Madball bullshit. I don't know, just like anything from that. I feel like we did some Integrity songs. I think like some Slipknot even, but it was like, we had our own like little, maybe like five original songs, and was like, get me the hell out of here. They were all like based on that, getting out of a small town. It was just like no effects rip off until we learned how to play ska.
Word,
Yeah.
word.
Rancor, I think then we went to like Angus Lung was the second name, which was just dumb. They're all dumb, stupid henchmen. Angus Lung, Rancor. It's
Yeah.
just dumb. I'm
What
embarrassed
made
of
you
it all.
settle on the Stupid Henchman?
Our at the time our trumpet player Teddy came up with that one, and they were all big ska fans and like the Mighty Boss Tones, so it was like just a stupid spoof or like homage, or I don't even know what you want to call it, just a silly takeoff of Mighty Mighty Boss Stones was Stupid Henchman.
Thought
And
maybe you'd
I
been
think it
watching.
happened. I'm sorry.
I said I thought maybe you'd been watching a lot of Venture Brothers or something, and was like,
No, this is way pre Venture Brothers. Uh, but yeah, like henchman stuff. The henchmen, I feel for those little those characters, the henchmen characters. They just get thrown away. They die in every episode or whatever movie you're watching. They're just dumb as shit. Just following blindly to some crazy asshole. Made me laugh all the time. Um, yeah, I think it went at first in high school. It went, like a classic ska band or like a classic old Jamaican ska band, like with my name first and the Stupid Henchman, but I hated it. I don't like any attention at all. Nothing, no cameras on my fucking face. I don't know why, but whatever. So I hated that. Then we switched to No IQ, like maybe end of high school, and then switched back to the Stupid Henchman. But yeah,
hence,
there was
hence the release. No IQ presents the Stupid Henchman.
yeah, there was a release like before that we just went by No IQ. So I mean, it's the same shit. It's all the same. Same people, same kind of music, probably the same damn lyrics. It's all the same.
But it's fun. It was
Some
fun.
things never change.
It was some fun shit. It was some fun shit. I love those early albums. I love those early albums. And that 2 Years Dead, that was a great little recording.
Yeah, yeah. 2 Years Dead was that was kind of like the end of high school. So, you know, basically the whole band kind of moved away from each other and we're still friends and stuff, but it's like, oh God, ain't no one want to play punk music. Everyone just like in our area was just all hardcore metal stuff. So it was hard to like put together a whole new band and it was like we grew up with this shit. So uh it was still our little thing, I felt like. So it was like hard just bringing new people on. And eventually it did, but everyone moved away and that's when I started doing like more acoustic stuff. Just in the basement, in my mom's basement. That's
Word.
about it.
I
Yeah.
mean, it turned out great at your mom's basement. Talk about car bombs are cool, man.
Yeah, sometimes you need to set off car bombs to
That right? This might be getting red flagged on there. No, you have to elaborate.
some people whatever.
Yeah,
Uh
there was like 30 tracks on that album or more.
yeah, there was a lot. That was all like right after high school. Um it's hard to remember all that back then, just being a fuck up and stuff way back then, but it's right after high school and our time seeing each other was like short, sweet, like, all right, you want to meet up? People live like an hour away and now, oh, nice cat.
Well, thanks. This is Moon.
Moon.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's the daughter of our other cat Cheese.
oh wow.
Right.
Cheese and moon cheese.
Yeah, Moon is made of cheese. That's how that works.
I love that.
Right.
Um,
Both their names are
I'm a
drawn
cat
out of a
person.
hat.
I had some cats. I have a cat and my little buddy passed away not too long ago. So
Yeah, we decided
anyways,
after these two, no more mammals.
yeah,
Yeah, because
it's hard.
they live too long and they become too attached. We had a cat
Exactly.
that was Maya that we had. Let's see, my wife and I have been together for coming up on 16 years, and she had this cat when we got together, and she's like, the cat's old.
Who, Cheese?
No, no, the one
Oh,
before it.
yeah,
Right, it was named Maya, and that cat lived for a nut for hell. I fed that cat and took care of that cat for 13 years.
yeah,
And she was supposedly old before
yeah,
that happened. So like, and then we had another. I had inherited her my mother-in-law's Chihuahua when she died. Oh, my computer's doing some shit. Remind me tomorrow. Fucking. And they both died within a month of each other. So
oh, damn.
we're like no more
Yeah, it's hard.
fucking mammals.
Uh,
Like we'll get fucking some crabs or something, some hermit
yeah.
crabs. Like spiders, I don't give a fuck. I'm not a mammal. Turtles live too long, but I don't know if you can really become attached to a turtle like you can a mammal. So maybe that'd
Yeah.
be okay. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you can. I remember we grew up with we had these little turtles in Venezuela, and when we moved, we were kind of like forced out of the country in a way or whatever hell you want to call it. But we gave our turtles, we didn't sell them. I think we just gave our turtles to the moving people, and they were so stoked on it, like their kids were gonna love that. But yeah, I remember being so sad when we had to give up our turtles. I mean, I was also like 14, 15, so anyways, yeah, I love cats. I love animals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Car bombs are cool, right?
Thor Bombs are cool has a lot of songs on it. Yeah, yeah.
uh, so
Like
anyways,
like you were just sitting on that many songs and you're like, fuck it, let's throw it all on that bitch.
no, all those songs, it was just um Stella at the time lived up in New Paltz, and I was down in the city at the time. Uh, so it was like 2 hour trip, 2.5 hour trip. And it, we only met up a couple times a year, or like at least up there to jam and stuff. We still played shows. We had like our songs that we played, but like to get together, like make new music, that just didn't happen. And when it did, it was like such a time thing. So like we'd love to just jam together. And I wouldn't say like I ever really wrote songs and then like say, hey, here's this song. We would just fucking jam. And that's basically that entire album is just like a couple of days in their basement up at in New Paltz, and just putting I had a 16 track, this like Fostex I can't talk. This Fostex 16 track, and we just set it up for like 2 or 3 days or something like that. And it was just basically recordings of us jamming together. Like none of it was like pre-written. Maybe some was, I don't know. I'm trying to think if any songs stick out that was like I came there with a plan or we had a plan, but it was just Stella and I just jamming, and then later on TC threw some bass. Um, I threw some vocals, and then we both threw some all of us threw some vocals. But it was just like nothing was. It was just a jam album basically. I
Well,
think
that
it's funny. I look back at it, I'm like, those are some of my favorite days of my life. It's just like sitting in this basement where like the roof was hitting our heads and we just like crunched and recording down there, stuffing socks under the snare. Um, not knowing what the fuck we're doing, just having a fun ass time, and that's what came out of it basically.
word. It turned out
Yeah.
fucking great for being mostly improvised.
Yeah, I feel like at the time there was so many like influences. I think like shit, I think that's about the time like 2004, 5-ish. Stella might have introduced us to like more of the power violence stuff, maybe like some Charles Bronson. And we were like really into that like blast beat type stuff, like maybe a little grindcore influence. I think like Agoraphobic Nosebleed was pretty popular for me, and Converge. Not that that really bled into it, but just like that more like fast, crazy drumming. And Stella could just fucking do that stuff with no problem. And it was like, all right, let's do this with some ska. I was like, I'm still learning how to play fucking guitar, and you're just blasting through this stuff like you're a master on the drums, but it is what it is. And they're pretty fond memories doing that stuff.
Yeah, and they're pretty fun albums to listen to. They're pretty fun
Oh,
albums to listen to. Yeah.
yeah, they're
Um,
pretty.
all that early shit, like I said, it has a certain charm to it. Just like charmingly demonic.
They're just raw. I think it's like I don't think there was any plan or like any audience even. It was just like we just did it. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the charm of it. Like there was nothing to do it for. It's like we played some shows, a bunch of shows we play with friends, and it was like just doing it for us. And this is before like internet. I mean, there was internet, there's MySpace and shit, but you know what I mean? Like there wasn't like hosting sites that were big.
That
There was
was
like these,
early MySpace days. That
yeah, and
was
you could,
shit. That's when I was in college, fucking playing during my band in Springfield, fucking back
yeah,
in the day, on spreading that shit on MySpace.
yeah. There was like the LOC Live Journal site that people would host their, um, you would put a zip file up there with your songs on it and it would get transferred. I remember like there was like a, what was it, the LOC family? But there was like a Gmail way back in the day. I remember I felt like I was the first person with a Gmail, but it was a place to host your songs on this Gmail account of I don't remember whose it was. But I feel like it was like Dancehall Satan. I don't know if you remember them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like this that dude Longes. I haven't talked to him in 20 years. But anyways, I feel like I remember communicating with him and getting it through that. And it was like a sharing platform basically for people that love that kind of music. And that was like our only outlet, I thought, other than playing like live for a bunch of punkers. But um yeah, we just it was just like friends just making some music and like, oh, that sounds cool. And Charmely Demonic, it was like that turned to the like a little the electronic drums. So that was like when it was really hard for all of us to really get together, and that's when I started to learn that program Reason,
Yeah,
and then finally bought a computer.
around
Um,
2007, 2008.
yeah, well, probably 2006 was the start of that. But you know, I don't know what is time, but yeah, I would say around then. Uh, get some cheap ass computer, do that stuff, worked out, made some fun songs. And I feel like, you know, we were such huge fans of No Cash. We never played with him. I saw No Cash like twice. And it was like we just wanted to be No Cash and Leftover Crack. But then Matt Conductor was rolling around and around that time too. So it was just like they're doing some fun stuff. But like I remember like Chris and we used to just like email back and forth with each other and like get hyped on each other. Um, gosh, it's just bringing up some memories of
The
how it all went
Infinite
down. But yeah,
Alliance.
I just remember being really inspired by Matt Conductor as well, and all of us, like the whole scene, I feel like was as well. Like it was just cool to see kind of like that reggae hip hop thrown into like or be a part of like that like punk ska kind of like crack rock steady whatever.
It really did expand the scene. It really did
Yeah,
expand the scene because then you were totally inspired by that, and it started adding more of a hip hop feel to your lyrical
yeah,
content.
yeah. I mean, PC was a hip hop head and a ska head, and I was more like the metal side, the crazy metal and screaming and death metal and black metal and all that shit. And TC was the opposite, so it just blended everything together. And then like just seeing what like Matt Conductor was doing, um, and other bands. I'm trying to think of something else like that off the top of my head. No, I probably have to like look back and like see some other bands doing that stuff. B Squad was huge for us, which was around that time. Our Canadian buddies, who are basically our like best friends and play with us when we do tours and stuff. Um, anyways, that might be in the future talks. Um, But yeah, I mean, Mac and Dexter was huge on like kind of expanding it, like you were saying. So that definitely opened like the funness of not being restricted to just like screaming ska and then blast beats.
Yeah, yeah. Charmingly Demonic was the first that had that. The last track was the really make me wonder
Oh yeah, yeah,
with MC Devlin.
yeah. That was funny. It was like I
It
don't know
was
if
an old throwback to some Grandmaster Flash, was it?
I don't really know. He came over to my mom's house and
Yeah. Sometimes it makes me
we
really
all met
wonder
up,
how I keep from going under. Broken
and
glass
that's what
everywhere.
happened. He like came over for a day. We bought like a 30 pack, and that's what happened with it.
A 30 pack. Well, that's a great collab 30 pack song.
Yeah, that was a time to remember. I feel like even when
Well,
we did that, it was so unfinished, and I never even finished it. I was like, all right, this is it, done.
so was that the birth of the Infinite Alliance?
No, I I mean, I definitely think like our collaboration for sure, yeah. Um, I feel like the Infinite Alliance was like a part of time in our lives where like we were seeking something else and either like we both weren't getting satisfaction out of our own bands or whatever, like regular bands, that we just wanted to combine forces. I don't know. Now that I think about it, whatever way it worked, it was just like he had a song or a beat or a riff, and we just played back and forth on that, and just some stuff happened out of it. Um, there's so much more that was in the works, and I look back at every once in a while, like something pops up on my iTunes from the past, because that was like 2010-ish when I think we were doing that stuff. And I'm like, oh damn, that was a sick ass beat, and it never got used. So he's got all these hidden beats laying around somewhere. That dude's another prodigy.
Yeah, yeah. MC Devlin's cool as hell. Cool as
Yeah.
hell.
I feel like I'm just like trying to copy what a lot of people do. And it like even if I play the same exact goddamn beat and chords and lyrics, it still comes out different. And that's basically what the stupid henchman is of everything.
But everyone fucking loves the stupid henchman. Everyone does. Everyone does.
There's a thing I do animation for work, and called the shimmer, for like basically a repeated drawing. So like when you see like those squirrely like drawings where like it's just redrawn 10 times, but you're tracing the same exact line as before, but it's different. It's very different, and that's just what we are. It's just like the same thing, but it's different.
Broken off and now I'm slowly floating back to a black hole. And a bullet's got my city collapsing to full summer fast gone. I'm sure what I feel in love is gone and nothing matters anymore. So I'm onto a new ritual that's got me creeping through the devil's door. I don't respond to love cause it ain't gas. I get drunk and scream out about.
Let's move on to songs stuck in purgatory. I am glad that you gathered up all them songs out of purgatory and
Yeah,
put them onto one compilation because one-off songs sometimes get lost on me because I'm an album guy. Like even
yeah,
an EP is sometimes hard for me because four
yeah,
songs, like I fucking love it, but what I'll end up doing is burning me a CD of an album and shoving that at the end of it to fill in the space. So I got,
100%.
you know,
I think you and I live like very similar lives because like the last two things that we did too was like what three songs each or something like that. I was like, oh damn, just put these on another album. But I'm like that too. I'll just like slam it into the end of an album on a burning a CD or a tape or something like that. But yeah, that was just all the MySpace stuff and just like drafts of shit. Um, I feel like we put stuff on that pure volume site, like specific ones that would never use for an album. There was like slow versions of shit, acoustic versions of shit. Uh, I don't know.
It was
I
great.
think there was like My Jones Soda. We had some specific songs on there that I was like, oh yeah, there was those that we put up there. Because My Jones Soda, which was so weird that they had like a streaming platform that you could put songs up for fucking soda, whatever. Um, yeah, all that stuff was just like shit scattered throughout the internet, and I just like threw it together as, all right, this has to just be one thing, you know. Oh, because fucking Bandcamp came around, and I wish that shit was from the beginning. It made things so much easier to just like compile into one spot, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And that's a great compilation. Like I said, I am so glad that you did that. I love it when bands do that. Another
Yeah,
example would be like the Bull Weevils. They only recorded a couple full albums, but they made so
I
many
don't know them.
7 inches and fucking compilation appearances, and their fucking shit was all scattered that they released these two history of that compiles all them
Yeah,
7 inches, and it's two full albums worth of music
yeah,
that you wouldn't have unless you fucking sat there and hunted down the whole 7 inch discography, you know?
yeah. It's tough. There's lots of stuff like that. Um, I can't think off the top of my head either. But yeah, I know it's exactly what you mean. I would do the same thing. I would just like put everything onto one CD, and that was like that CD.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether
I've done it recently on the way to see Doom Scroll. I fucking put that Doom Scroll album, and then I put the new EP at the end of it.
yeah, yeah,
And then I pulled there a couple of demos off the line. Had that Hermit Stew demo that he did some years ago.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
That one on the Navajo Nation COVID thing.
Oh yeah, that was a pesky self.
Oh, that was Pesky South. Shit.
Yeah.
I,
but yeah, so he
Elliot,
had all
stick to
these
one damn name.
yeah, so I crammed all that shit onto one CD to listen to on the way up there that I've been jamming
Yeah,
in the car.
nice.
Right.
Billy Bob, can you give me 1 second? I just have to. Yeah,
Yeah,
one.
go ahead. I need to go
Yeah,
get me some
sorry.
coffee anyway.
It'll be 2 seconds.
No, like I said, I gotta re-up my coffee.
Tonight in the lows, bust a fire pit out and ignite. Bring the darkness to light. Thank you, Satan, for saving my life. We can have it.
I'll tell you a little story. I was living in this apartment building, and we just smoked our first spliff. Must have been 12 years old. We saw this light in the sky, and all of a sudden, the whole entire surrounding was light, just pure white light. And then I was shot back to Earth, and that's all I remember.
Hey, it's the Dark Lord
I just wanted to
himself.
introduce my true self. No.
Well, you have inspired so many great albums. That was wonderful. So let's jump back into this.
All right.
Uh Chill Out and Die Later. You brought up that album and said that you were not a fan of that particular album because of maybe what was going on in your life at the time.
Yeah, I think that was just like some dark days. But I love, I listen to it and I don't know, I like it, but it's like it's just dark days. Uh I don't know how to explain it. Just like moments in your life where it's just like you ain't vibing with life, whatever. And you just try to find the smallest fucking thing to keep going or whatever. Um, that album in particular happened. It felt like it just took for fucking ever to make that album. And it was just like we did the tour with, was it with Days and Days? Just a little tour.
Days and Night Gaunts.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Was it way back then? Shit.
Okay, I'm pulling this information from your Bandcamp. It says recorded right after the tour with Days and Days and Night Gaunts. Took 7 excruciating hours to record the drums, and then you came in later I just
Yeah,
read this a minute ago.
it was the same. It was kind of almost the same thing where like, actually this one I had like songs planned or like demos, and actually one was Bits, that song Bits. MC Devlin basically came up for the hook with that, which maybe that says somewhere, but yeah, there was a lot of demos for this song that made it a lot easier to be done in that 7 hours. But it was basically like just a jam session that we recorded all that shit in 7 hours, and it was all one fucking, like I just kept it rolling for 7 hours, or it was 2 days, but it was like basically 7 hours of recording, and it just was like one file of, I don't know, 12 tracks of drums, or I don't remember how many like microphones I had set up or anything. But it was just like, I don't know. It was that shit was overwhelming, and I poorly planned and whatever, that kind of stuff, and like set up. It was just like in the moment, whatever that happened, I was like, yo, real drums, I'm gonna do this. And it turned out to what it is. And it was like a lot of like, um, like my mind changes too much, probably just like the tangents that we're going on, Billy Bob. But like, I'm like, all right, this song, all right, I want to change it actually. So I'm like copying it, I'm splicing the drums up, copying and pasting stuff from a different song into this song. And I don't know, it was fun to do. It was just like a battle, a little nightmare, and like I just like dug myself deeper with a lot of the crap, and it just took forever. But Justin, thank God for Justin to kind of like pull it all together. Justin's from B Squad, and he like mixed it all together, and stuff that I'm not too I don't know the real EQ shit, that kind of stuff at all. Whatever the hell you want to call it, mixing, mastering. It's fun to do, but I don't know what I'm doing. But Justin took over all that and made it basically sound what it is. And I love the sound of it. It's probably my favorite sounding album by far. But
It turned
and
out
just
clean.
just just with like the real drums too, it just like really, um I wish it was more like that. Everything was like that. Hopefully the next one's like that. But who knows?
Like I said, it turned out fucking great. I rock that shit regularly.
Thanks. There's a few. I think like This Misery might be my favorite song off that one. There's like thing that was like, I was like, all right, I want to make Linoleum, but like my version of Linoleum. And it's nothing like Linoleum, but if you actually like hear the chords, it's like it is Linoleum. So stupid.
That's great. That's great stuff. That's great stuff. But like I said, I fucking love that album, and I'm sad that you like, because when we talked last time, you're like, I am so glad you didn't make that the album of the month, because it makes me sad every time I think of that area.
Yeah, I think I've gotten over that. I think enough years have passed to process it all and like just be whatever. Like you gotta, I guess people just gotta go through those moments in life where like everything goes wrong that possibly can go wrong. Um,
It
you
makes
do
you.
you make the wrong decisions and just do the wrong shit all the time. That's just what it was at the time. It's like, oh, I don't even want to relate to this album, but like you look back and you're like, wow, amidst all the shit that went on with your life, like still to be able to create this thing with like friends and stuff was pretty awesome. So now I kind of have that view on it. So, things change. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
word, and you have to live through that shit to make you who you are,
Yeah. Builds
right?
character.
So, and then Cheddy, you
Oh
released a,
shit.
released a solo album after that, Cheddy.
Cheddy's probably the music that I probably wish to make the most, but can't play guitar that great. So it's like my interpretation of that kind of music. I don't know, you know? Like I love 1 minute songs, or that kind of shit. I love all that like Orchid was probably one of my like top three bands ever in my life. Um, Maybe if you listen to it, you could hear some of the influence of Orchid in that. Um, the drumming of Orchid. There was a band I was a part of a long time ago called Bravado with some kids from high school. And then I quit because I couldn't play guitar good. But they were like too good for me. Not I was how do you say this? They didn't kick me out. I left because I was like, I'm a burden on you guys because I can't play guitar like someone should for you because they're so well trained and whatever. Anyways, it was all basically an Orchid band, and that's my version of Orchid slash Converge slash Blood Brothers slash Drop Dead slash Infest. I don't know. And that's what it was. And I really wish I wanted to finish it for real. And it was like a MacBook that I had that I dropped and everything was corrupted. So I got one of those, God, I don't remember what they're called, but something to like basically plug your hard drive in, your little tiny hard drive thing in it and collect data from it, but it's not like the actual files. It was a pain in the ass to get the files. I was like, oh, I don't want to re-record this and redo the drums and all that shit. So that's what it was. I had lost all the lyrics for it too. And I think some of the songs didn't even have lyrics. They were just like me going and like then I would put lyrics to that in that like I don't know. See how stupid we are, Billy Bob? This is how it goes. That's why hence the name Stupid Henchman.
So are you ever planning on revisiting this, Cheddy?
Yeah, I have so many songs that are like in that landscape of Cheddy. And a lot of them I've kind of turned into Henchman songs to be a little more like punk just because it's I feel like just like getting older is just so like time like your sense of time becomes so different like I don't know. I really don't know, but it just seems like time gets away from me.
Uh,
This
We can use the power of our memories, hopes, and dreams to help us get through to see a better day. It's been feeling lately like the end of days are already here, but we can change direction for the better to the upcoming year.
like whatever helps you get by, that album is great. I regularly listen to that album. That's one of my
I
favorites.
appreciate
By
it. That one
fucking
that's the COVID album or whatever the fuck.
yeah, it is the COVID album, and it's a fucking great album. It's
Yeah, that's
great.
the one when I built this thing, this
Yeah,
little tiny
it
box
starts
that
off
I'm
all
in.
nice and fucking hardcore, and then like there's such variety on that album. You have a fucking song and a fucking 10 time signature on that fucking album. You
Which
don't think
one?
you don't think I would notice that keepsake to keep going
Oh
is
yeah,
fucking
that
10
one was
time
fun.
signature?
I don't think you know what's funny? We were at a show. We played a show with Corrupt Vision, and someone requested that song for us to play. I was like, I don't know that one. I think I only ever played it for the album and maybe like jammed to it once or twice, but like never practiced it, never did anything. But yeah, that I think that was my honestly that was my favorite one to write lyrics to by far.
Yeah, the it's such an odd time signature. Like that had to been fucking influenced by MC Devlin, who keeps going on about like you got to have hip hop, pushing hip hop to the next level by adding.
Nah, Billy Bob, let me tell you the truth. I don't know what the fuck time signature is.
Oh no! Think about that song. One,
No,
two,
I know what it is, but
five,
it's like,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
yeah,
9,
yeah.
10. That's a
I
fucking
think
really
if
odd
anything,
time
it was.
signature.
I hear that from Mac Conductor stuff, but like I think that one was inspired by Blood Brothers of
Yeah.
some shit. No, you know what? I think the last song was inspired by Blood Brothers. I don't know. Everything's inspired by Blood Brothers for me. Um,
But yeah, I fucking love that album.
I think we're dummies. Like TC and I, we're not like like trained in any way at all, and we don't know. I'm not a YouTube kid that just like went on YouTube to like learn all this stuff. So I don't know. Like if it sounds good to us, and we're like, all right, we're done there. But I don't know what time signatures are, or even how to find out a time signature, or like what a minor chord or a major chord is. But like I could play the guitar kind of.
But
I don't know scales. I don't. We really don't know shit. And
what's
I'm just
funny?
speaking for me, not TC.
What's funny is you do know all that shit. You just don't realize you know all that shit because I
Yeah,
hear
I think.
you doing it all
Well,
the time.
our buddy Justin said that too, and it's like, um, once you learn music theory, it ruins it all. I was like, all right, I don't need to read music theory.
Just let the air take me away. Positivity's just a lie. How dumb fucks make me get by. If only I found what's successful in that. I think that things would be different. Illusion and freedom and twisted away by destruction. Fighting for something that's not really there.
So let's talk about these last couple splits you've been doing lately. You haven't really released anything full on, but you did a nice split with Trash Rigs back in 2022.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. That kind of got me off the kicks. I don't know, kicked me off the chair a little bit or whatever. I don't know what the saying could be. I feel like if I prepared. But anyways, Chris was going through a rough time. Paxton passed away and from Trash Rig, and he kind of wanted to just kind of like put something out and really wanted to like collab with us in a way. And I don't know if it's like putting the Trash Rig name out or whatever, but it was just like we were just talking a lot, like daily or every other day. I kind of lost in touch with him recently, but anyways,
Yeah,
um,
he just
whatever.
he just
He kind of got my ass in gear and like, hey man, can we do like a split with this and like release these few songs while the whole album is being finished and mixed by he, who is part of Doom Scroll and everything like that. So P mixed all that Trash Rig stuff. Came
oh
out
he
awesome
mixed
and
all
like
that. I fucking love
yeah,
P. He
yeah.
did Helga Pataki.
Oh yeah, yeah, that stuff's amazing. Yeah. Um, so that was like, gosh, I don't even, that was like 3 years, 2 years ago? Whatever. It feels longer
Two,
ago. I
two
feel
years
like
ago, yeah, it was 2 years. Holy shit, yeah.
it's crazy. But yeah, so I think it started off with that. I think those songs like went in order, which it was like, all right, I kind of want to be like a little bit faster to like match Trash Rig, but like Trash Rig really reminds me of like Car Bombs Are Cool in a way, where it was like just raw, like dudes just like jamming with each other. And it's hard to do by yourself. So like that's what the first song came out as, and then the second one was like, all right, I got through some ska into this, and then the last one was like maybe the more like um newer age henchman style, I guess, if you want to say. But it was just fun to like kind of like do music again because that was the first stuff since
It's
whatever helps.
yep, that was a 2 year gap there.
Yeah.
And then
So
I felt the end was approaching me. Unhealthy obsessions to set me free. Cycling thoughts of humanity collapsing along with myself. Full apologies. 'Cause underneath it all, still have a dream of finding what matters most. But I'm just guiding a bit off course down a road with problems that I should have known.
then later that year you did the cost of living with Dead Rejects.
yeah, so that was another one that got me off my ass. And that one I involved a little bit more people with like TC and Justin to help me out with. Um, which thank God they did because those songs were rough. Those songs I can't say they're I'm the most proud of them, but they helped me do justice with them. Uh, I think I like the gosh, I think my favorite one's that first one, which is weird. I forget what it's even called. Another Day, maybe. Um,
Shit, I'd have
That
to
one's
open up
just
the file.
super weird. Either way, the middle one, the down and out till you're
Hold on, man.
yeah, I'm actually looking it up. We
Okay.
we were- we were gonna play one of those songs during like our last tour. I was like, oh, that song's too long. We're playing with Corrupt Vision where all their songs are like a minute.
Another day, same doom. Down and
Oh
out
yeah, yeah.
until you found me, and somewhere in between.
Yeah, so I think Down and Out Till You Found Me was a lot of fun. I think I never really used that beat in like that like pretty basic punk rock beat. I don't know what it's called, but it's just a very basic punk rock beat, and I feel like it's the first time I've ever used it. So it was kind of fun. And then the ska part was like, I don't know, it was fun. I like making music. I think it's like the most fun part of my life is just to like sit in this little tiny room. I wish it was with people more often than not, but TC and I always jam on the porch together. That's where all the songs come from, is just jamming acoustically on a porch. Then I kind of bring it down here, add some like drum beats and reason, and then it just becomes what it is. But it all starts on the porch, just fucking around after skating or like just hanging out, having some beers, um, some non-alcoholic beers for me.
O'Doul's, huh? Is that what you've been rocking? The
No, I got the Pabst Blue Ribbons right now. NAs,
non-alcoholic
baby.
paps?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's pretty good.
So I've noticed you've appeared on quite a few random albums here and there,
Hell yeah.
like
I'm proud of that.
yeah, and it's awesome. I like I'll I just randomly come across bands all the time because I'm constantly researching. That's one of the fucking things I do. And shit, I came across one just yesterday, and what came out, clicked on their first EP or their second EP, and the second track said featuring stupid Henchmen. It was OTC. It was
Oh,
like
OFC?
yeah,
Yeah,
huh? Yeah.
OFC, yeah.
OFC. That was it.
Do you know what OFC stands for?
No.
Nobody knows.
Really?
Operation Fetus Consumption.
Oh, that's great. That's a great name.
No,
Why don't
I
you
actually
say
I
that?
don't know if that's what it actually means, but I think like there might have been a night where they revealed that, and I don't know if they were joking or whatever. There's a few theories out there of what it stands for, but those guys are super old homies. Um, they're probably like one of my favorite bands. Some of my favorite people. Chris, Nick, Kit, and Midget are just like some of the greatest people. Like they just host a lot of shows. They used to throw a lot of shows. There's some of like the thrashiest ska. I think that their live sound is so fucking amazing, and like the recordings are like lacking that sadly, which I love the recordings, but like there's something like so like sonically violent in their live shows that just is not captured in their recordings. And it's like I almost want them to like record at like some sort of metal studio because Nick's voice is insane live, and it is insane on the recordings and stuff, but it just like there's another like element to like I'm sure that's like with every band. Every live show is a little bit more extra, but they're one of my favorites anyways. That went on a tangent. OFC are like some of my favorites, but they're a Massachusetts band. Um, just known them since forever. They were really good buddies with our buddies Intifada, this dude Charlie that was part of Intifada. And they covered that song Skate. I don't know if you heard that one yet, but Skate comes from a hometown band from us that I recorded called the Intifada, which you might be digging soon. It's gonna You're gonna go on these paths, Billy Bob.
I do. I do. It's crazy how much shit I come across.
Yeah, I mean, I love I love people and I love when people reach out and like if I can really like add if they really want me to add a verse or like anything, I'm 100% down to, and I try not to say no. But it's just hard with time wise, you know. It's like hard to sit down and write a verse and then record it. It's a little bit easier now with this little thing I built, but before, man, it was fucking hard. It's like, all right, I got to do it in on Sundays between this time so I don't bother the neighbors.